Names. Sometimes they're stupid. I mean, hey, I named this channel Manham Productions, and I'm actually only a quarter ham. Animated shows seem to get it the worst, though. Sometimes it feels like the Raiders are having a competition for who can come up with the dumbest names. So today I'll be taking a look at some of the worst named cartoon characters to see just which names are the dumbest. The higher they rank, the dumber they are. And remember, this is all coming from a guy with a cat named Tomato. Starting us off, Fredberger, The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. I mean, the show is just off the rails and bonkers itself, so it's not like a stupid name in the context of the show as a whole, since the whole show's kind of stupid. Outside of that though, this name is wild. Like, it's not super outlandish or anything, and it is pretty dumb, but in a good way. Like, yeah, that's Fredberger. No questions about it. What else could you even call this guy? Nothing, that's what. I think it's decently dumb, but not dumb enough to start us on an S tier, so let's go with an A. Dick Dastardly. Hey, do you guys think Dick Dastardly might be a bad guy? You know, I'm not too sure based on just the name alone. Let's see if maybe he has like a thin, wispy mustache or something. And oh, yeah, nope, never mind, he's a bad guy. Thanks for clearing that one up, people who made this character. This is pretty much like if your antagonist was named Jerk Bad Guy. Not even like telegraphing it, just straight up telling you from the second you hear his name. It's not the dumbest name out there, but it is pretty straightforward and in a dumb way. So let's put him on B tier. Uncle Grandpa. Here we go, some prime stupid right here. Everything about this show is stupid, so it stands to reason that we're going to name the title character something extremely dumb. Now, his name is fitting, I guess, in the sense that he's a mythical creature with the abilities of both a uncle and a grandpa. Sort of in the same realm of like Santa Claus, who, you know, is his brother. Does not change the fact that it makes him sound like he's the product of incest. And it leads to some pretty damning questions like, is Grandpa just his last name? Does everybody else in the family with that last name also have the powers of a grandpa? Like, is Santa Claus Grandpa since it's his brother? Does this entire family also acquire the powers of their first name? Is Uncle Grandpa's grandpa named Grandpa? What about his uncle? Is he Uncle Grandpa too? Can there be more than one? Or is this like Highlander where they have to battle to the death? Or is it just a silly, stupid name? Either way, this one's going on S tier. Powdered Toast Man, Ren and Stimpy. This one came up in my research quite a bit, and although I've stated I'm not like a big fan of Ren and Stimpy, I don't think this name is that stupid. He is what he is, and what he is Powdered Toast Man, a cereal mascot in the same vein of like Captain Crunch or Count Chocula, and honestly, his name is less dumb than both of those real-life counterparts. I'm feeling a C tier. Ron Stoppable, Kim Possible. Now, Kim Possible is already a pretty dumb name. It's a girl who does the impossible, so her name is a pun on that. Ron, on the other hand, is in fact very stoppable. And both of them just sound like entirely made up names. Which, I mean, I guess they are. But for some reason, Stoppable just stands out as a bit more ridiculous to me. I guess it's not the worst name out there, even if it's less of a pun and more of just a character trait. I'm probably going to go with a B tier. Lumpy Space Princess, Adventure Time. Okay, so we've got a princess who is from space. What's another defining trait of this character? This is another one of those names that's more of like a descriptor than an actual name. But to be fair, that is sort of how it goes with a lot of the princesses in the show. But I think the most wild part about this is that they're leading with Lumpy. But could this one just be Space Princess? No, we gotta throw the texture in there for some reason. Can you imagine if I named my kid Lumpy? That kid would spend their entire life hunting me down. Gonna go with an A tier. Fat Albert. Well, that's just mean. How about Friendly Albert, huh? What about Helpful Albert? Now, to be fair, it's not like his first name is actually Fat, you know, it's Albert. But still, just what a terrible nickname to have. But also, if you know who created the show, naming a character Fat is pretty low on the list of wrongdoings there. Either way, I'm thinking like a B tier. Foghorn Leghorn. Right off the bat, this is a pretty ridiculous name. It is, don't get me wrong there, but there is also some pretty sound reasoning to this one. Firstly, the main inspiration seems to be the fictional radio character Senator Claghorn, and then of course foghorns are loud horns used on ships, which sort of captures the chicken's booming voice, and then leghorns are a breed of chicken. So, it works. But just because it works doesn't mean it's not a ridiculous, stupid name. The meaning does sort of help keep this from the very top of the list, but I'm still going to place it on A tier. Bluey. Not to shit on my kid's favorite show, but like, come on. It's not even that stupid, just pretty lazy when compared to the rest of the characters in the show. Not a single other dog in this universe is named after the color of their fur, at least to my knowledge. And if for some reason the parents of the show are too lazy to come up with a non-color based name for their first kid, why isn't their second kid named Orangey? It's not the dumbest name on the list, but it does upset me for reasons I can't quite comprehend. Probably a C tier. Cow and chicken. Any guesses what sort of animal these characters might be? It seems I judged you a bit too hard, Bluey. Some of these names are like, a descriptor or a silly pun, but not here though. They're cutting right through the bullshit. You want a cow and a chicken? Fine. Here's a cow named Cow and a chicken named Chicken. You happy? No silly names or gimmicks, just you get what you get. Like, it's accurate, but come on. I mean, it's gotta go pretty high, right? So I'm thinking an A tier. Mr. Whiskers. Brandy and Mr. Whiskers. He's a bunny, This is among the ranks of like Fluffy or Snowball or Hoppy. Where if I meet somebody and they're like, oh, look at my bunny, its name is Mr. Whiskers, I'm gonna be like, fine, great, perfectly normal name for a rabbit. No issues on my end. Gonna put it on D tier. Professor P.P. Diarrhea-Steen Poopypants Esquire III. Captain Underpants. I mean, come on. This isn't surprising or anything coming from Captain Underpants, which is a series that I absolutely loved as a kid. So I am well familiar with Professor Poopypants, don't you worry about that. That being said, if there was a competition for who can come up with the dumbest name, this is your MVP. It's the whole point of the name, it's meant to be stupid and silly, and it does a damn good job at it. This has to go on S tier, no way around it. Mojo Jojo, the Powerpuff Girls. Definitely the most fun name to say on the list. Mojo Jojo, Mojo Jojo, Mojo Jojo, Mojo Jojo. It's a bit ridiculous, but I mean, this is an evil talking monkey. You can't just call this guy Greg, It's pretty silly, but it's not really that dumb. So I'm thinking this goes on a C tier. Michigan J. Frog. For some of you, you might not know this classic frog. Others, like me, may mostly know him from the cinematic masterpiece that is Son of the Mask. He's just a singing frog with a stupid little top hat and a stupider name. Can you imagine if somebody named their child like this? Ah, yes, this is my son. New Hampshire P. Human. Why is this frog named after a state? Why has he got a middle initial? Why are we being this formal? It's a frog. I understand he has a top hat. I can get a top hat. Either way, it's not like offensively stupid or anything, but I think this one's decently dumb. I'd probably go with a B tier. Winnie the Pooh. Winnie is fine, It's just a name, nothing too weird going on here. The? Okay, a little strange. He's Winnie of something. Let's see what kind of Winnie we're dealing with here. Pooh is where I have an issue. It's a memorable name for sure. I mean, it stood the test of time. But all I can think about is poop. Please don't trim that out of context to make me seem weird. Going with a B tier. Chairface Chippendale, the Tick. Well, shit. Dude's got a chair for a face. Firstly, the Tick is so underrated, both the original cartoon and the live-action reboot they did a few years ago. The guy's real name is Colin Chippendale, which still does sound a bit ridiculous. Like, if you meet somebody with that name, you know who they are before you even talk to them. Change that first name to Chairface? That's a bit more telling. And let me be clear. For those that haven't watched the show, this guy is not wearing like a mask of a chair for his face. He didn't swap his face with a chair in some like evil scientist experiment. That's just the guy's face. And I guess if I had a chair for a face, I'd be a bit surprised if that's not what my nickname was centered around. But none of that changes the fact that this guy goes by Chairface, and that's going to earn him a spot at the very top. Going with an S tier, the Toiletnator. Codename Kids Next Door. Puns are alright. They'll earn you a spot on the list, but it's not the dumbest thing in the world. This isn't even a pun. He's a toilet-themed supervillain, but for the name, he literally just took toilet and Terminator and smushed them together. And it doesn't come together to make anything clever or anything. It's a pretty clumsy portmanteau. It's just there. You can call yourself like the Plunger. Or, I don't know, wear a crown, your royal flush. It does kind of make sense in the context of the show since this guy is an idiot, but that doesn't stop it from being one of the worst names on the list. This one is very stupid. Let's say S tier. Avocado. Final space. Really? Naming an animal after a fruit? Who in their right mind would do such a thing? I said in their right mind? I'm gonna be honest, I think naming animals after food is like the only way to go. I don't want to see like a cat named Tom or a dog named Jacob. It's too formal. Call that thing papaya. I don't think this one's dumb, and I think given my track record, it would be shocking if I did. D tier. And there you have it, my list of the dumbest cartoon character names. Let me know if I missed any dumb character names that come to mind, or if you think any of these dumb names should have been ranked dumber. If you like the video, like and subscribe to Join My Ham Fam, which is not a dumb name for my subscribers, or so I've been told. And if your name happens to be on this list, I'm sorry your parents did that to you. Thanks for watching. Tomato Cam.